we'll keep it moving to another featherweight bout here. And here we saw Yair Rodriguez defeat Patricio Pitbull by decision.
Yeah.
And yeah, Patricio Pitbull, I think you were saying just before we went on air, BG. Probably
Mm,
the disappointment of the evening in terms of performance. I don't know
yeah,
if you would share that sentiment, but yeah, it was
I do.
for me. I think it was quite a. It promised to be a good fight, and it wasn't as entertaining. I mean, Yair did his part, but I think Patricio was
Mm.
at sea today. But I just didn't see what all the hype was about. So, what did you
Maybe
see?
that's maybe that's what adds to your disappointment. I can't share the sentiment that it was boring. I thought it was quite exciting, and that's purely because of what Rodriguez was doing.
Mm,
Patricio Pitbull, he made it a bit boring fight because there was an expectation that he was going to go in there and do Pitbull things, right? But this is not Pitbull that's 27 years old. This is Pitbull that's 37. Let's get real here. I said it the whole time. I said it all year. This is not a good fight for Patricio. They signed him too late. That's why did the UFC make this purchase? It's like when they got Ben Askren. Like, what the hell is the UFC doing buying retired fighters? Like, let these oaks, like, don't do that. You know what I mean? If you really wanted Patricio Pitbull to be in the UFC, you should have gotten him when he was double-weight champion already, when he was in his 20s, competing at the highest level. Then bring him in, just like Michael Venom Page. You're getting these guys into the UFC at the decline of their career. Like, what is the point? What is the point, right? And now you fast track him against a top five contender, which I think was a bit of a disrespect to Yair Rodriguez, in my opinion. And this is what you get. Now you get Rodriguez, and I said Rodriguez was going to beat him anyway. I don't see Patricio Pitbull winning the fight. I don't see Patricio Pitbull winning anyone in the top five. I'm being completely honest with you. I think he can make exciting fights against like a Dan Ige. He can make exciting fights against a Jean Silver, but I just don't think he can go in there and compete against the highest level because Rodriguez loses to Volkanovski. Rodriguez loses to Brian Ortega. He'll probably lose to Diego Lopez as well. You know what I mean? And if Patricio can't get past Yair Rodriguez, how is he going to fight any one of those guys? So I just don't think that Patricio Pitbull did enough to almost guarantee himself a fantastic fight next to you. She's probably going to be very cautious with it now and try and give him a fight where he stands a better chance, maybe. You know, but the performance for Rodriguez, for me, made the fight entertaining for me. I thought he did really well. He did what he was going to do best. He was slick. He was fast. He was tagging Pitbull in every avenue of the fight. His kicks were setting up everything for him. And that's just a classic Rodriguez performance. And it looked like he actually did a really good weight cut for this fight. So, yeah, I just don't know if Rodriguez's performance was big enough for him to get a title shot next, even though that's what he was speaking about after his fight. Um, but in a nutshell, unlucky Patricio. Well done, Rodriguez.
I can't. Look at. You can say unlucky, but I mean, look, I agree. The guy's on the decline. He's 38 years old, or however old he is. But look at this: 23 significant strikes of total of
Boring.
61, bruh. It's like you just didn't. It's not. It's not even a matter of like not being able to perform. It's just that he didn't show up on the night, man. I think
Yeah.
even on a different night, we might see a different Pitbull. You know what I mean? It could be a completely different fighter,
I
but
don't think against
I just feel like
Rodriguez.
he didn't show up on the night here, bro. He just didn't throw any strikes. How
Yeah.
was he gonna win the fight, bro?
I don't think he was going to be able to throw anything, to be honest. Rodriguez is the guy, and the style that Pitbull was doing, it was set up for disaster for Pitbull. Because Pitbull's the kind of guy that fights counter striking. He doesn't go in there and does what Rodriguez was trying to do, establish the dance, establish and control the dance. Pitbull doesn't do it. Pitbull's the kind of guy that because of his power, you come in, and then I tag you, and then he starts running you down because now he's tagged you, right? That's how he's won most of his fights. You can watch it back, watch the tape
Mm,
back. But Rodriguez was just taller, faster, and just the reach, and he utilized activity, which meant that Patricio couldn't do anything in those activities. And I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would beat Rodriguez at any point, really. I don't think unless Pitbull was maybe 10 years younger. But I just don't think he can beat him. And that's why I'm saying Patricio Pitbull can do well against maybe a different athlete, someone that's maybe not going to be as active as Rodriguez, as tall and
mm.
as kick heavy as Rodriguez really is. Pitbull against the niche. You know what I'm saying? Pitbull against someone else in this division you'll look fantastic, but not as someone that is as active as Rodriguez is.
Yeah, copy that. So yeah, I mean, we already kind of discussed that the Rodriguez Lopez fight now makes itself.
Yes,
In
sir.
terms of Pitbull, what do you think about Pitbull, Bryce Mitchell, bro? How about that?
I'm glad you asked that question because that's what I was actually going to say. So you got the rankings on screen there. So, firstly, again, to disrespect to the rest of the division, to give Pitbull a top five opponent, I think that was a bit silly for them to do that. Um, you said Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah,
That's not a bad fight for him. That's really not a bad fight for Pitbull. I think Pitbull against Josh Emmett will make for exciting fight. Someone's definitely going to sleep there. Um, Bryce Mitchell might just grapple Pitbull, but that also could play into Pitbull's favor. I'm starting to see the next fight for Pitbull because the performance was just sucky. You know what I mean? So I almost want to say give him someone outside of the top 15 to save his career. Um, maybe Giga Chikadze, but Giga Chikadze hasn't fought now in a year, almost a year
but
and a
it's
half.
like, why is he here if he's gonna fight unranked guys, bro?
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Just retire then,
Yes.
bro.
Just
Bryce Mitchell's
retire.
the biggest name that's like not
Next.
in in the top 5 or like in the top 10.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine, bro. It's a big name, even though he's not like a highly ranked fighter. So I mean, because again, why is Pitbull in the UFC if he's gonna fight unranked Mensa, bro? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
What's he
That could
gonna
be a
like
waste of a
start making
contract.
a title run? You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
unranked, you know what I mean? It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen. So yeah, just give him Michael Chandler, bro. Like you said earlier, let them fight again.
Yeah, let them, and then it can be a retirement fight for both of them. They both can call it
Exactly.
quits, put on a match. This must WWE era, isn't it? So then do that.
Yeah, or even Pitbull, Poirier, make that
Uh,
fight happen.
but then Pitbull has to go upper weight for
Yeah,
that.
but I'm just saying, if I mean, like you said, it's a very difficult position with Poirier because it's not fair for anyone really to fight him. That's
Yeah.
has title ambitions. Pitbull,
Yes.
after this fight, clearly can't think to have title ambitions here. So I would say make that fight happen. Let him go up a weight class. If it's not too
Mm.
much logistically, there are of course other fights for Poirier there, Michael Chandler. So yeah, maybe the
Yeah.
three of them should just get in the ring and fight there.
A triple threat
Freak show
match.
fight away.
Yeah, I think Pitbull can't. There's no argument. I'm actually struggling to do a matchup for him right now because his performance left anything to be desired, and I think it's a washed out fighter, man. The deal was pointless for the UFC to make. There are far more other fighters. Fabricio Andrade from one championship is 27 years old, and he's been a champion for how long now? He's knocking out people left, right, and center, looking elusive. Bring the man in, bruh. Bring the man into this organization. He's a wasted talent at the one championship right now because the one championship doesn't have enough people to compete in that division against Fabricio Andrade. Bring him to the UFC, please. He would make a shake up in this division for sure.
Yeah, definitely with that, BG. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts on that, drop us a comment there, like the video, subscribe to Fighting with Friends.